Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is Sunday, December 22nd, 2019. It is 11:15 a.m. in Rochester, New York, in the USA. And this is my coping with schizophrenia vlog entry for today. I haven't made a video since I think before Thursday, and today's Sunday. Um, Mostly because I was feeling horrible physically. I guess I was doing fine mentally, but I had severe abdominal pain, vomiting, um, just not feeling well over the past few days. This happens. This tends to happen to me when I'm going through the winter. Um, um, the anxiety and the depression and stuff that comes with winter for me often psychologically gets me upset, and then I get physically sick, usually with some sort of gastrointestinal or stomach problems, which is exactly what I had. Um, I was having severe abdominal pain, a feeling of bloating, like my abdomen was distended, um, and just vomiting, and nothing was coming up with the vomiting. It was all dry heaves. Um, and this was happening starting before Thursday up until this morning, which I'm feeling a little bit better. Um, I did see my psychiatrist on Thursday. No matter how shitty I felt, I wanted to make sure that I kept that appointment. I went to him on Thursday. Our meeting was at about 1:30 p.m. We discussed the fact that I stopped my Haldol injections once a month without his permission, but he agreed to go along with it, that I'm not going to go in for a monthly Haldol injection. The Haldol injection is supposed to last for about 28 days after it's injected. It's a way of making a person more stable just in case they forget to take their other meds or go off schedule with their other meds. I did agree to continue taking Haldol in pill form if I became paranoid, which is certainly possible, just as some way to deal with paranoia, hallucinations, but primarily paranoia, because I've been having a lot of that over the past 4 or 5 days as well, thinking that people are following me, they're out to get me, they're talking about me on their cell phones. Of course, I have no evidence for any of this. These are just very strong feelings of paranoia more than they are thoughts. Uh, Actually, my thoughts are pretty clear. I usually know and understand when something I'm experiencing isn't real, whether that be paranoia, hallucinations, anxiety, depression. I misinterpret reality. I have no evidence for the things that I'm feeling or thinking. And at least I realize that I don't have anything evidence for what I'm thinking and feeling that may be just psychotic symptoms. Um, so I had a pretty shitty day over the past few days, and also as far as medications, me and the psychiatrist didn't change anything else. When I was in the hospital a few weeks ago, they did in fact lower my Seroquel because I used to take 1,000 milligrams a day at bedtime. Now I'm only taking 800. But that was a change that was already made by the hospital before I saw my psychiatrist on Thursday. Um, so right now I'm just trying to keep my shit together, try to get better physically, um, and just trying to cope with the winter. Uh, it's hard to describe why winter bothers me so much. Um, and I did go to the emergency room. I don't know. I think it was a couple of weeks ago for the same symptoms: abdominal pain, vomiting, and they said it was due to severe constipation. They gave me uh, Miralax as a laxative. Some laxatives a person can get dependent on and can't go to the bathroom without it, and that's a form of addiction. So they took me off Colace because I was becoming dependent on it. When your body becomes dependent on a laxative, it can't have a bowel movement without that laxative because your system gets dependent on it and it forgets how to do a bowel movement by itself. And Miralax doesn't have that problem. Miralax is just an over-the-counter stool softener that makes it a daily bowel movement more likely. So there are no other medication changes, no other changes that me and the doctor made. I am going to be seeing him more often during the winter because the winter is a tough time for me, and I will be seeing him on the 2nd of January, which is in about 2 weeks. And that's what we agreed upon, that maybe it's best for me to come in and see him for every 2 weeks instead of every 4 weeks throughout the winter. He did mention he doesn't have to prescribe anything for me when I see him, that it's just a chance for me to come in, talk a lot of shit, get everything out of my system, and just meet with him to see how I'm doing in general. The goal being preventing me from going to the psychiatric emergency room if it isn't necessary. It's very costly to do that. I have to pay for the ambulance, at least what Medicare doesn't pay. I have to pay for the emergency room visit. I have to pay if I get admitted into the hospital. It's all very expensive. The bills go high with that. So it's a lot cheaper. It still costs money, but it's a lot cheaper for me to go see my psychiatrist on a schedule because they're only charging me for a half-hour outpatient meeting as opposed to the emergency room, the ambulances, the blood tests, and all the evaluation at the psychiatric emergency room. That is all very pricey. That's all very expensive, and I really want to find something else that prevents that from happening. And one of those ways is to see my psychiatrist every 2 weeks instead of every 4 weeks. So that's all for now. If anybody has any suggestions for a topic for video, let me know in the comments section. Subscribe, like, share, comment. I may change the way I do these live streams. I might announce them ahead of time from now on to see if anybody wants to join me on the chat, the live chat. That way I can have a discussion with people about whatever's on their minds about mental illness, schizophrenia, depression, whatever, and start a conversation that way. Because mostly I've been doing these live streams pretty much alone. At least as far as I can tell, nobody's on the chat. So I might announce these live broadcasts ahead of time. But that's it for now. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Give me suggestions for video topic because I'm kind of running out of topics myself. So that's it for now.